We have a shocking Oilers update as desperate times call for desperate measures, and the crease change is imminent here for the team. All that more today on Oilers Digest as we get you set up for a critical, very critical, pivotal, critical Game 3 tonight for the Edmonton Oilers at Rogers Place. All that more. But lots of love on yesterday's video. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for showing support to the channel. But 73% of you, almost 74% of you, ironically enough, have not yet subscribed to the channel. So if you're new here, if you're loving the content, make sure you hit that button down below for any and all Oilers content, because hopefully the off season isn't in any reach anytime soon. Hopefully the Oilers can get something going, but it'll take a lot of effort, a lot of team play, a lot of mistakes that need to be cleaned up for the team. But you know what, it's a 7-game series for a reason. But we're picking up the slack in tonight's game as Cal Pickard gets the start tonight for the Edmonton Oilers in lieu here of Stuart Skinner. But Brett Kulak, before the game tonight, heading back to Edmonton, as the Oilers haven't been in Edmonton for quite some time. They stayed in California following their last regular season game against the San Jose Sharks. But Brett Kulak, level-headed guy. I think the biggest thing that there is obviously the frustration, and you want to at least get one game in LA, but to go down 2-0 is a very tough spot to be in. But you know what? I think it's just taking today, getting back home and resetting. We got to come back with our best effort tomorrow or tonight. This was a quote from yesterday, and make a couple adjustments. I think every guy on the back end can say right now they're underperforming. We can all step up. They're a good team. They've been playing well, but we've also showed signs that we can be better, and we believe that in the room. I mean, we all saw it in Game 1. The Oilers coming back from that 4-goal deficit, unfortunately couldn't get the win in the end, but it's not like LA is, completely outperforming them. It's more so just special teams errors and a lack of goaltending. As you can see there, the Oilers being outscored 12-7 in the first 2 games there. 12 goals in 2 games is not exactly a recipe for success there, but being outscored by 5 goals, and you can see there's Stuart Skinner at the bottom. Let's just show it again here at the bottom of the money puck goals saved above expected chart there, minus 4.7. You can do the math there. 5 goals that he should have not have let in. 5 goals that could make the difference when it's all said and done here when the series ends. You can see there at the top, Mackenzie Blackwood. Man, it'd be nice to have him in orange and blue. Could have had him in orange and blue at the start of the season, but Colorado noticed they had goalie troubles and went and picked up a goalie. Funny how that works sometimes, but I digress here, folks. But Cal Pickard getting the start tonight. Obviously played a decent amount this year. He says, feel good about where my game is at going down the stretch there. Got some good wins against some good teams. He's seen LA twice in the final 2 weeks of the season. They're losing both, but I mean that one game in LA where the Oilers were shut out, I think he overperformed my expectations, but he's definitely feeling confident going into it. I'm just going to treat it like another game, do my job, play my game, and we're all going to have a better effort. Everyone needs to dig in and have a better effort than we had in LA, and this is Cal Pickard's first start since Game 4 against the Vancouver Canucks last year. So you can see the Oilers making this a recurring trend every single year where Stuart Skinner falters and Cal Pickard comes in and may save the day once again there, but a very tough hill to climb here for the Oilers heading into Game 3 tonight. And just taking a look at the lines from the morning skate here, courtesy of Bob Stauffer there. Draisaitl, McDavid, and Zach Hyman, which is certainly a choice of a line, not just a choice of a line, but just a choice of a line up in general. I would have preferred, Draisaitl, McDavid, Hyman, or even, Jeff Skinner, Connor McDavid, in Connor Brown there. I mean, that worked multiple times there, but Kris Knoblauch being as stubborn as ever there. It seems to be a player call here with Draisaitl and McDavid together to start the game. Who knows if they go up 1 or 2-0, maybe they'll sort of get the rest of the lines going here, but Kris Knoblauch always seems to change the answers when I have the questions. The second line, Vasily Podkolzin, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and Victor Arvidsson. Evander Kane demoted from the second line with Adam Henrique and Connor Brown. Again, another questionable line. I mean, I do like Connor Brown, but with him, Henrique, and Kane together, that could spell trouble there against the fast LA Kings. I mean, they are just, a dime a dozen when it comes to speedy forwards that can burn you whenever they want. And lastly, your Trent Frederick, who is on 1 foot with Matthias Janmark in Corey Perry, and the extra forwards, Jeff Skinner in Max Jones with Derek Ryan in Kasperi Kapanen. They're just criminal what Kris Knoblauch has done to Jeff Skinner at this point of the season. They're one playoff game, and that's it for the kid, it appears to be. And then on the defensive side of things, oh boy, John Klingberg and Evan Bouchard together as a pairing there. I mean, I might eat my words, I might not, leaning towards not eating my words there, but that's certainly a choice of a deep pairing there. I mean, John Klingberg, yeah, he had a decent game against the Kings in Game 2 there, one of the best Oiler defensemen. I mean, he wasn't eaten alive in the Oilers' zone, and that's a win in my book when it comes to John Klingberg's character, not necessarily known for his defense in the past couple of years, but putting him next to Evan Bouchard, yeah, that's pretty much, like a Larry Murphy and Paul Coffey pairing back with the Detroit Red Wings there. I mean, that's just two extra forwards. And then Darnell Nurse and Ty Emberson, big fan of that pair. And then Brett Kulak in Jake Wallman with Josh Brown and Troy Stetcher as the extra defenseman. Stetcher was dealing with an injury, but he was skating this morning, but it doesn't look like he is ready for game action. And Cal Pickard, of course, getting the start and net for the Edmonton Oilers tonight. When it comes to coming back to Rogers Place in front of a home crowd, Kris Knoblauch loving the fact that, the team has a chance to, get back into the series in front of Oil Country. We're very optimistic going back to Edmonton and playing in front of our fans. Our building is something where obviously we feel more comfortable with playing at home anytime, but there are things that we can still improve going forward. We're spending a lot of time in the offensive zone. The forecheck has been good, getting them to turn over pucks, but now it's the next play, and they're a very patient team, and they're okay with sitting back and waiting for us to lose focus or lose patience, and then them taking advantage of it. We saw that many times where the Kings just, capitalizing on just the smallest of turnovers by the Oilers and making them pay. So we have to stick with it and have the mentality of winning a 1-0 or 2-1 game. And to do that, we also have to have a fewer kills on the penalty kill, where that's been the Oilers' Achilles heel so far in this series. Not just the PK, but also the power play too, not generating anything whatsoever. In special teams, we saw it last year, made the difference. Both teams scoring 12 goals at 5-on-5, but the special teams was the turning point in that series last year. But for the Oilers to get back in this series anyway, they need the special teams to turn it up and make sure they make the LA Kings pay on the power play, or just play a much more calm game on the PK. We saw the Oilers just run around all night long, not even knowing what to do on the penalty kill whatsoever. It's like they've never practiced it at all before. And the LA Kings, the 27th ranked power play during the regular season, looking like the automatic Oiler power plays of years past there. But hey, at least the Oilers will the fans will have orange towels to wave tonight. I mean, that's a small victory rather than the orange pom-poms, which I have myself a couple. But it's the little things there. If they can't win, then they have the cute towels to wave there. But the Oilers, it makes it seem like the Kings, again, just dominating the Oilers game in and game out, but that is not the case on the analytical side of things. The Oilers have been the better team at 5-on-5, which is again a main storyline here. 5-on-5, the Oilers look like a competent team. It's just when they get on the man advantage or the man disadvantage there in this case, and they own a 52% expected goals rate per natural stat trick, but have been outscored 7-5. Play driving doesn't always correlate with results. I mean, the eye test in the analytics not necessarily going hand in hand in any situation, especially in a short series, but their luck is bound to turn if they continue possessing the puck the way they have in the Kings zone. They need to generate some more chances and then capitalize on them, and a big way for them to do this is just to play their game instead of falling into LA's trap. We've seen the LA Kings with the 1-3-1 of the past, but they went into a 1-2-2 formation. But the Oilers just need to get themselves into their own rhythm instead of letting the Kings dictate the pace. And the Kings are just tired of being the little brother in this one. You can see it game in game out. Byfield, Fiala, Anze Kopitar, 37 years of age, but still doing his thing. This Kings team is fed up, and the Oilers just not matching the energy at all during the 60 minutes of play. You can forget about 5-on-5 in the penalty kill and special teams. It's how you start the game, and the Oilers need to start this one with their pace. Does that a few hits here or there for me to use an archaic viewpoint on the game, but the Oilers just need to again just get their game going as soon as possible, because another slow start will kill the team and eventually the series if it keeps going that way. But of course, the Kings improved to 4 for 9 on the power play in the series, while another failed conversion by the Oilers dropped them to 0 for 5 against their aggressive penalty kill. That's forcing Edmonton's top unit to execute on every one of their passes. And we saw, the Oilers try to force that Draisaitl cross-seam pass multiple times, but teams are looking for it. And the Oilers, not the Kings, the Oilers need to be just a little more inventive on the power play there. Use every single option that you can, because if the Kings aren't looking for it, well, the Oilers can capitalize on that too. But there is a bright side to this, despite the Kings' 31-6-4 record at home. I know the playoffs are a different beast in their own right, but the Kings are not so successful on the road. They're going 17-19-5 during the course of the regular season. They did lose once to the Oilers at Rogers Place, 1-0 Stuart Skinner shutout. Would have loved one of those in game 1 or 2, but who am I to complain about the current situation? But the Kings not as successful on the road, which could bode well for the Edmonton Oilers. And just taking a look at their lineup, could be anything tonight, folks. This is the lineup from game 2. Their official game 3 lineup hasn't been released, but they did go 11-7 in game 2, and that could very well be the case tonight in Edmonton there, to sort of get the matchup that they want and throw off Edmonton. We saw Edmonton with Jay Woodcroft do that multiple times at 11-7, just to sort of get the opponent off their rhythm. But Andrei Kuzmenko, Andrei Kopitar, and Adrian Kempe, the triple A line, the line for their first line that killed the Oilers in the first 2 games. And Warren Fogle, Philip Deneau, and Trevor Moore, Kevin Fiala, Quentin Byfield, and Alex Ferrier. What a third line that is. I mean, my goodness, this Kings team, I gotta tip my cap to them very, very deep. And then the extra 2 forwards with Jeff Malott and Sammy Hellenius, and then on the back end there, Mikey Anderson, Drew Doughty, Vladislav Gavrikov, Jordan Spence, Joel Edmondson, Brant Clark, and the extra defenseman being Jacob Movrar. So this Kings team, especially with Darcy Kemper, I'm sure had a rough game 1, but bounced back with a .923 save percentage in game 2 there. So lots for Edmonton to overcome, but it's a 2-0 series. It's not like it's a 3-0 series against the Florida Panthers last year, where a 2-0 is a little more easier to overcome than 3-0. I know, Captain Obvious, you can throw the C on me, but for the Oilers, the last time they did come back from a 2-0 deficit after starting on the road there, San Jose in 2006, and that San Jose Sharks team was deep, and this Kings team is the same. So why not us? Why not the Edmonton Oilers coming back in this one? It'll take a lot of 97 and 29 plus the special teams to get the Oilers back in this one, but you just need one, and who knows what would come from that. But that is it for today's video. Let me know down in the comments what you think about the goalie switch and the lineup. I mean, you need some youth in this lineup. I mean, lots of old guys wanting a cup, but speed and youth is the way to go in the NHL. You need guys like Matt Savoy and Noah Phillip to inject some young blood into this team, but the organization doesn't really want that whatsoever. The mistreatment of Jeff Skinner is something I could scratch my head at, and I'm sure lots of you are doing the same. But let me know down in the comments just your full thoughts about the game tonight or the team in general. I'm very interested to see what you all have to say. But folks, enjoy the game tonight. The sky is not falling. It could be, but it's not at this point. It's game 3. We're at Rogers Place. The crowd will be loud tonight. Lots of support behind our Oilers tonight. So enjoy the game tonight. Let's go Oilers. Let's get back in this series. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. The weekend is upon us, folks. Take care. We will be back tomorrow with a game 3 recap. Take care. I'm Matt.